Hey guys, it's Dan from the Physio channel. In this video, we're going to discuss the effects of exercise on the immune system. It's a well-known fact that regular exercise is good for the immune system and for overall health. But there is a commonly held misbelief that an acute bout of exercise can temporarily suppress the immune system. For example, many coaches and athletes believe that a vigorous bout of exercise can cause a short-term increased susceptibility to viruses, and this is referred to as the open window hypothesis. Whilst it is true that a single bout of vigorous exercise has a profound effect on the functional capacity of the immune system, with all immune cell populations in the bloodstream showing alterations, it's debatable whether this leads to immune suppression or an adaptive immune reaction with enhanced antibacterial and antiviral immunity led by the redeployment of immune mechanisms. So in this video, we're going to have a look at three things. Firstly, the validity of the research that led to the development of the open window hypothesis. Secondly, how the suggestion that reduced mucosal immunity can be challenged by reviewing the available evidence. And thirdly, why post-exercise peripheral lymphocyte reductions may reflect a purposeful redistribution of immune cells rather than a systemic loss of immunity. The open window hypothesis was formed from research mainly from the 1980s and 90s, which found associations between endurance sporting participation and self-reported upper respiratory symptoms, or URTIs, upper respiratory tract infections. And this is the first issue of validity because none of the URTIs were clinically confirmed. In fact, in a study in 2007, they found that of 37 self-reported upper respiratory tract infections, only 11, so roughly 30%, had a positive laboratory diagnosis. So why were the other 70% reporting symptoms? And does this question the validity of the previous research, which was based on self-reported symptoms rather than confirmed URTIs? Well, one cause of the upper respiratory tract symptoms could be airway irritation due to rapid ventilation during exercise and common exposure to cold air, and this can trigger some mucosal inflammation. Allergy and asthma may also be contributory. We also need to think about why immunity may be reduced with intensive athletic training. There are other associated factors like psychological stress, sleep deprivation, dehydration, dietary intake restrictions, and a lack of recovery, and these can all reduce immune function. At this time of social distancing, we're more aware than we've ever been of mass gatherings and novel viruses. A typical national sports event provides many facilitators and mobilizers of viruses, including shared facilities. So we can appreciate the many confounders that may reduce immunity. Suggesting immunity is reduced simply through intensive exercise ignores many of these other potentially contributing factors. So at this point, we can question the validity of the open window theory. The next component of the open window hypothesis is the mucosal immunity. The historical research reports reductions in salivary immunoglobulin A, or IgA for short. IgA is an antibody that plays a crucial role in immune function of mucous membranes and has a leading role in inhibiting invading pathogens. In the immunity literature, it's usually measured in the saliva. The research linking short-term reductions in salivary IgA with exercise is conflicting. Some studies show reductions, other studies show increases. There's also a poor link between IgA levels and self-reported upper respiratory tract infections. Salivary IgA measurements are also affected by oral health. In their review, Campbell and Turner also noted optimal oral health is rare in adults, with nearly all adults exhibiting caries, gingivitis, or periodontitis. That's a nice thought. It's however well known that endurance athletes often suffer from bad oral health due to high carbohydrate intake. IgA is also highly variable during a normal day and is regulated by the autonomic nervous system, so an increase in sympathetic drive from overtraining and other stresses can influence IgA levels. So in conclusion, the current research and the challenges of measuring IgA make it ambitious to connect reduced IgA to reduced immunity. One of the most cited mechanisms for the post-exercise reduced immunity is the reduced function and volume of peripheral blood lymphocytes. They are seen to increase during exercise and then reduce post-exercise below pre-exercise levels for a short period of time. These levels are also dependent on the exercise intensity. Rather than triggering immune compromise, a more recent theory is that the immune system is actually responding in a specialized way to increase immune surveillance. So, what does this mean? Well, it's suggested that immune cells are redeployed to mucosal tissues in the gut and the lungs, where they're better able to deal with pathogens at first contact. This suggests that the immediate effects of exercise can refocus the immune system. In conclusion, rather than vigorous exercise causing an open window for viruses, a more modern review of the science suggests that it may boost immunity through increased surveillance. It's important to note that other factors associated with intense training like stress and sleep deprivation may have a negative effect on immunity. In the absence of other immune-suppressing lifestyle factors, a single bout of intensive endurance exercise should not reduce immunity and may actually increase it. Thanks for watching. You'll find the references in the description, and here on the screen are a couple of other videos that may interest you. Make sure you subscribe and stay in touch on Instagram and Facebook. That's the end of the video. I'll see you in the next one.